What's like a month like in your life? Like, I don't even know how you compete in parkour. Because you explain to people like what one of these competitions looks like?
Yeah, so they build you a massive course. I was recently in one in China that was really cool, in the Wudang Mountains, where where Taoism was formed and Tai Chi and all that. And they build a big course. They put some scaffolding bars and some blocks with like 6-foot drops, some like 10-foot drops.
Like in a stadium, they do this? Or
Yeah, sometimes a stadium. Sometimes it's just like in a really cool looking architectural place in the city centre. Like we did one in Brazil. In Tokyo, we did one. Was actually Yokohama. It's like near Tokyo, but it was where they build ships. So it's like a really deep into the ground with levels like this.
Wow.
And then they just built the course on that, so the crowd could like sit on these levels, and it was really cool, like old
That sounds
ship.
incredible.
Yeah. And then you have 25 athletes normally from all over the world. They fly them in, and then they give you 1 or 2 days to practice on the course, come up with 1 or 2 runs, and then you have 60 seconds to do your thing. 4 judges. They judge you on creativity, execution, difficulty, and flow. And then they do an overall. Each of them do an overall impression, and you each do the course, and then the top 10 scores get another 60 seconds, and then they announce the winner from there.
do you like that kind of
It
competition?
feels horrible
Because it's nothing like
it's nothing,
free running.
Exactly,
at all.
it's nothing. It's not the reason we train. But to me, it's just a new challenge, and anything that makes me nervous, I know nothing in life should make me nervous, because it is what it is, you know. So I like to push that feeling of, why do I feel nervous? Like, I can't affect the outcome. Being nervous doesn't change the outcome. I can only do what I can do. Do you know what I mean? I can't. It's not going to help anything. Again, with Ninja Warrior, I did that American Ninja Warrior and did quite successful in that. But the feeling before,
What is that?
it's like a course for ninjas. They build like, I'd say check it out. It's on like Challenge TV, but then America started doing their own format of it on NBC.
It started in Japan, right?
It started in Japan, yeah, and it got really popular, and Americans loved it. So they started doing their own trials where the top 10 Americans would get sent to Japan. Then last year was the first year they actually just did it in Vegas, and we did a trials. I was born in Connecticut, so I've got an American passport, so I was able to compete. Because a lot of the other English athletes would love to do it. English people would do a lot more successful, I believe, because of the parkour background. And it really worked for me. I won the semi-final, I won the final in Miami, got flown out to Vegas for the final. But the anticipation of it is horrible, where you sat around. I ran at 5 a.m, the course was soaking wet, because it's just a TV show, and they herd you like cattle. There's like 100 athletes from each region. But again, it's that feeling before it that I really don't like. And so someone once taught me this really weird technique, but it helps so much, where I stood there and I closed my eyes, and I imagined this gold sieve slowly traveling up my body and taking out all the negative energy from me, and it comes up slowly, and then it passes through your head, and you really feel my brain start to fuzz as it gets to the top, and boom, pop, goes out the top.
That's interesting.
Opened my eyes and I smiled, and I killed the course. Like, and I felt all the negatives seemed to go. Whether it's placebo or not, I don't know, but placebos work, so that's all that matters.
A gold
So-
sieve? A gold...
Yeah, like a, don't know what you call it, like
Like a filter?
filter type thing.
Yeah, sieve is the word.
Like a sieve, like you put tea leaves in or something like that.
Yeah, that
and-
kind of thing.
And you just
coming
pull it up.
Yeah,
your
and
body.
you know what's funny is I ate like a burger before I went on, and as it got to my stomach, I felt my stomach just feel really like this negativity. Like, I could feel exactly where the burger was sat in my stomach. And
Someone once said to me that emotions are just energy that's trapped in the body due to a certain thought.
yeah,
And so if you
yeah,
consider expand that analogy out, like, so you're sitting getting ready to do your course,
Yeah.
and then you start thinking, I don't know what's going to happen, and then that traps
the thoughts
negative
add
energy.
up
Yeah.
into your body. Yeah.
So I guess being able to identify those thoughts and just disassociate from them or let them dissolve will also let that energy dissolve.
You know what? That makes so much sense. That's exactly what it is.
I thought so too.
The thoughts add up, and then you do feel this buzz around you. And I guess that's what helps release it. Was that?
And some people have negative thoughts that they've been carrying their whole life, like
Yeah.
whether it was through a relationship or like some business deal that went south, and then they start thinking, John fucked me over in this business deal, and that creates anger, and then that anger stays in their tissues because they're holding it there with their thought for their whole life.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Definitely.
yeah. What are your thoughts on this kind
I
of
always
stuff?
say, like, well, my stepdaughter says she's nervous, and I'm like, you're nervous because it's important. That's what I always
Yeah.
tell her. This is a good thing.
Yeah.
And the buzz you get afterwards from going through that situation.
I think that's again with
it's such
competitions.
a big payback.
The relief.
The relief.
after is
And without
incredible.
it, you wouldn't be the same person without that challenge and then the relief. And it could be something tiny. I mean, I personally used to get butterflies going to a new jiu-jitsu dojo. You know, even going in there knowing I was going to be fine, but you go in with a new group of guys and I'd be like, and then afterwards it's like,
I know exactly.
all
what
these
you mean.
endorphins come out, you know.